Hey, business builders, welcome to a virtual campfire today. I'm really stoked to have our one of our own, Melissa Kontir, who's the founder of TCB Promotions, and she's going to be sharing with us and answering questions about how to use promotional products for employee engagement, welcoming new members to the team, welcoming your new clients, prospecting, lumpy mail, events, trade shows, everything. And Melissa, I always love when you get excited and start pulling all your stuff out. And I describe it, yeah, like carrot top in his trunk, but better. So we'll turn it over to you. And then I know Buddy already had a question before we started, so you can hit on that. That'd
Yep.
be great.
Well, thank you. And thank you for asking me to do this. I got to admit, my knee jerk when you first asked me was like, really, me? But then as I was preparing for this, I was like getting really excited about sharing this with all of you because I have witnessed for the past 2 decades, which is how long I've been doing promotional products, the difference that it can make, the difference that it can make when it's done intentionally. I've heard dozens of stories of how a welcome kit mattered to a staff member. I've been front row seats to watch anniversary gifts. I've seen staff members wait to reach the milestones to get their anniversary gift box. And I've just been able to watch the emotion behind gifting, which is probably what makes me love the industry as much as I do. Promotional products can really evoke an emotion in someone. And whenever I'm working with my clients, I'm always looking to poke and find that emotion because that's when it's really impactful and meaningful. And that was why I got in the industry. So just about me, 20 years ago, I was working in travel for a large transportation company in the Northeast. And they sent me to a conference on tourism. And I was sitting in the back row and someone handed me a promotional product. Not long after that, I started working in promotional products for 10 years for someone else, selling to American Express exclusively. When I joined the team, the American Express account had 4 approved vendors. When I ended, it was 8. We were always in the top 3, and that was my job, to sell American Express, only American Express. And then one day, a friend at Rutgers needed 6,000 Go RU t-shirts. And it was a big sale, and my boss said, thanks. And I was like sparked by like, just thanks, no money, because that wasn't my job. My job was Amex. And so little by little, I started my own deal and started to pull away. And eventually, the past 10 years, now I've been doing it here, selling promotional products to clients in all different genres. From our major genres are travel, hospitality, healthcare, and a few others, universities. But I will say a new category that's emerged is my fellow business builders. You are literally now a drop down in my Salesforce tracking. So thank you to those in the room that have given me business. It really means the world to me. I am so proud of it. I'm proud of it when you guys consider me and then go ahead with it. And I do give it even more attention when it's one of you all, because you're like friends, right? So you want it to go well for all the reasons. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to talk for a couple of slides, and then I'm going to get into the fun stuff about the psychology behind gifting and really what I think makes my industry so impactful and powerful. But like any other genre, if you're not partnering with someone that studies it all day, every day, you can go online and get a cool promotional product, I'm sure. But when you come alongside of an agency like ours that's doing it all day, every day, sees the trends, sees the why, you could get even more impactful. So I'm gonna share that with you guys right now. Why? Can you see my screen?
Yep.
So we have all these fancy awards, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm just kidding. But what I think you should all know is we are certified women owned, and that's great. And we do have accreditations that might matter to you from an accounting standpoint. So some credits from the United States government when working with a company that's WeBank or SBA or DBE. But that's enough about us. Let's go into promotional products. Did my slide change with you?
You love your brand.
Good. Okay, so I'm going to send this to Wayne and he'll send it to you all. But these are some of the things that when we're doing a promotional product or when you're doing a promotional program, you have to think about. So first off is, what is even a promotional product? Right away, you probably think of some of the common ones. Anybody? What's a common promotional product? What do you think? Buddy, Jade, what's a common promo?
Water bottle, t-shirts, stickers.
Pens.
That's
Squeeze ball.
Squeeze ball, drinkware. Those are cool, and they are the top 10. And we're going to talk about why. Why are they consistently year after year in the top 10? We're going to talk a little about what we offer, similar to your question, buddy. Do you do fulfillment, pick, pack, drop ship? Yes, yes, yes. I talked a bit about the power of gifting and why it matters. And I'm going to tell some storytellers. I'm a storyteller. So I'm going to tell some stories, show you some products that had some power behind it when they were given. And then everybody has the promo they know, like we just talked about. And then I would say, Wayne, I'm going to call you out because this is a perfect example. Like, if you love your brand, like if you have a really cool brand, Wayne, you have a cool brand. I love it. I love what it stands for. I love that it doesn't always like punch you right in the face what it is. You kind of have to ask some engaging questions. I love that, like, if you know, everybody says that on shows a picture. If you know, like we all know, so we know. So you start to love your brand, and that comes through in the promotional products you choose, or it should. If you love your brand, you don't want to just slap it on any old thing. You want to make sure it comes back to what you stand for and who your company is and what you want people to think about you when they get a product with your name on it. In fact, when I was selling American Express and even some other clients now, there were products they wouldn't allow us to put their logo on. Some of them were like obvious, like don't brand garbage cans. So Amex said, nope, never put our logo on a trash receptacle. Don't do it. They didn't care if it was at a sports game, the Super Bowl, no branded garbage cans, no branded covers, none of that. But another thing they never allowed us to do is you couldn't put the brand on anything that went on the floor. Subway stickers, nope. Rugs, nope. Runners, no. Don't put our logo where it's going to be stepped on. Even some clients would go as far as saying, we don't want to ever do anything with a clock, because in some cultures, clocks are bad luck. Anybody ever heard of these kinds of things?
No, but I have seen the promo thing in a urinal.
Right. And someone was okay with that, but someone else would say no. And that's a good sign. If you feel like I have no desire to give out block, good. Because like, Jen, maybe you wouldn't want to do a branded microwave plate because you're into fresh cooked seafood. I don't know. But that would make sense, right? Like, think about what you are saying about who you are when you put your logo on something. And then the why factor. There has to be a reason why. Why are you giving this giveaway out? A lot of times we get people that want to give a giveaway either because they were told to or because whatever the reason is. But if there's no real true reason why, it's not going to pack the punch. It will when you can develop an idea of why. Why are you doing this? We're going to debunk some of the promo myths. Every industry has myths, right? Whatever industry you work in, you might hear like, oh, coaches, I could read a book. Okay, well, go read a book and I'll keep doing coaching. Or salmon at a specialty place, I'll just get it from the fish market. Or whatever the myth is in your industry. Our industry has some myths too, and we're going to talk about that. Here's the thing. A lot of times people will hear me say all this cool stuff about promotional products. I'm surrounded by them to show you. But I will tell you, simple, a pen, a mug, it can still be thoughtful. So don't put me or promotional products done right in a cubby that says it has to be expensive. It's got to be something no one ever seen before. That is not true. You could do a sticker, but it's impactful because we pause and we think about it. You could do a drawstring tote, but we pause and say, what can we put in the tote? Where can you hand out the tote? What branding can we put on it? So simple, inexpensive even, can still be thoughtful. And then I'm surrounded here by my favorites, and it's impossible for me to pick favorites because they all have a great story and they're all really fun. Sound good? So what is a promotional product? When you're doing a promotional product, you can tie it back to a marketing strategy. It could build your brand, create awareness, let people see your logo all over the place. Something someone's holding in their hand A tangible advertising piece. This is a brochure we did for a customer that wanted to get in with a door opener. And we could have done a brochure that had pages of info, but this piece is actually a video brochure. And it has
Imagine taking notes without touching a keyboard.
so in your hand, it's not a pamphlet, it won't go in a pile. You're thinking, how cool is that? How much did this cost? You know how much this is? $25. Because this little screen, the world has changed. And right here is a little USB drive port where you can change the video message. So you're not stuck with whatever this video is. You can change it. You can even have it talk to the person. Like, hi, Rhonda, I hope you really enjoyed that presentation. Can't wait to meet you. And then this comes in the mail. So it's tangible. You're holding it in your hand. You're not going to really throw it away. Kitting and gifting is, I would say, a lot of the questions we get these days. And I have a lot of those around here. I'll tell you right now, anything can be kitted. I've kitted all kinds of things, from promotional items to, like, I've literally sent out inflated balloons with proposals on the inside. So you have to pop the balloon, to all kinds of crazy things. We've kitted inflatable feet. Let me get my foot in the door. We've kitted all kinds of things. And I tell all of our partners, when you're doing a promotional product, it's great for you to do your own research and know your brand and all things we talked about, but lean on the company like ours or whoever, and make sure that they are sharing with you what's trending, what's working, what didn't. And last, I can say this for sure, we see so many people doing recognitions and awards, and it really makes all the difference. And I want to show you this great one that we did. This was a sales award we did, and it was so cool. We QR coded it, and we put a unique QR code on every piece. And the manager was talking to the person who won. So, hey, you scan this, and hey, Kane, great job on that. You did an amazing blah, 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 blah. You're the reason we're succeeding. It's so much more impactful than a standalone award. Have you guys seen these QR coded awards? No. Good. Job security. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so I'm going to keep going, and then I'm going to stop sharing and show you stuff. Top 10, some of you shouted them out. Number 1, forever and ever and ever, apparel, apparel, apparel. People cannot get enough apparel. They love it, they love it, they love it. If you looked at my orders, 500, 600 orders a year, kid you not, half or 40% are apparel. So if you think people don't want to wear your cool apparel, you're wrong. They do. They love it. They want a hoodie, they want a zip up, they want a hat, they want it all. Make it a name brand. Put a little more money on it, make it a Columbia, make it a Nike, come down a little, make it a Champion, you'll get it. Drinkware, I don't care how many water bottles you have, someone wants another one. Make it cool, like Buddy did, and put a cool, like, handle on it, like that looked like that rope. I can't remember the name of it. Paracord, I think.
Yeah.
Boom. And somebody's like, what's that? Wayne followed along. Thank you for that. And writing implements, totes and bags. Kane did that with us. And that's what people want. They want drinkware, water bottles, totes, journals, hats, awards, lanyards, and badges. You'd be shocked how many lanyards and badges we do. Kidding, and we do a lot of web stores. Is doing a web store with us now. And when the time is right, I can't wait for you all to see that. So just a little nerdy tip. So I'm a nerd. When I was in college working full-time and going to school full-time, the reason I passed was because I love to learn. I'm always sitting in the front row and I love to learn. So Dr. Marion Cleaves Diamond is a noted brain researcher at the University of California, Berkeley. This is so cool. Lab rats were exposed to environmental and nutritional enrichment and stimulation. At every age range, I'm going to tell this story differently after I'm done reading it. So they basically took these rats and they put them in a lab. One set, they didn't give anything to. The other set, their whole life, they got treats and amazing stuff. So one mistreated, one treated great. Studied their brains, there was the brain function. Took the ones that were deprived, started giving them gifts. Continued to give the gifted, privileged rats more gifts. Studied them again, and I can't speak educationally like Dr. Marion does, but the brain waves for the rats that were deprived and then given gifts was stronger than those given gifts all along. Why does that matter? Because if you're not giving gifts to your team, recognition, gift cards or whatever they filled out in your form, if you're not doing that, you're missing out on the connectivity that you can form with your clients, your staff, by gifting, by treating them right. And why the privileged ones that got it all along, that's great. But what is important to see is the power of gifting. Maybe it was because it was food, though. I don't know if you gave the rat a mug, it maybe wouldn't have had the same impact. But the point is, these studies have been done regarding the brain and what happens when you're gifting or when you're treating something right. And this is that book that I keep talking to you guys about, Scattered Minds by Gabor Mate. All right. Okay, if you can unmute or mute when you're ready. We've all gotten promotional products, right? Yes?
Yes.
Wearing yours, Wade. Okay, does anybody remember one they've been given? Anybody? Yes, Wayne, thank you.
Yes, I got a really nice like North Face vest from a company that I was a partner with as like if you participated, it was a quarterly award they gave out, and it just felt high quality and I felt cared for when I got it.
Yeah, so you got a brand name one. That's, thank you. That plugs my previous comments. Did anybody ever get one? Normally, if you go to someone's office and you peek around, you'll find one most of the time, right? Did anybody ever get one that like annoyed them? Anybody here ever go to a trade show and get annoyed by the promo? Yeah. Why, Kate? Why does it annoy you?
Most of what annoys me is I don't know what to do with it once I have it.
Right. That makes sense. And so you wouldn't give out those items. You'd give out like, actually, I'll wait. I'm going to show you once I'm not sharing so you can see me better. Well, thank you, Kane. So I'm going to share these slides with you, and you could think about these things and make sure that when you're doing the promotional item, you find to incorporate a way to answer some of these questions in the product that you're giving. Nothing's better than a story of a product. So can I show you guys some cool stuff? People love eco. This was a bag. And I know some of you might have shown this too, but this was a bag we do when we do mailers. And on the bottom of the bag, it says, I'm a compost pack. What does that mean? This bag is literally made out of dirt. And on the back, it says, I'm a dirt bag. So here you are, you're funny, you're engaging them. And in there went, everybody gives out grocery totes, and they're great. People will take them all day long because we need them. But this one was for vegetables versus one you always get. So onions, potatoes, things like that. And then what was fun is on the inside, we put shopping bags shaped like all kinds of produce. So that really just, it's a bag and they're little bags on the inside. And now the person's kind of maybe paying a bit more attention. Let me show you some boxes. One of the things that is cool, if you can, make the box big and environmental and eco-friendly. And what's the word? Like you can make sure that what's the word? Recyclable. Okay. So boxes, this one's black, one color here. And when you open it up, people love to open boxes. People love to see what's on the inside of things. Here it said, you're as good as gold. We could kit anything. This is what was in there. Like, so you could take a box and foam cut out any shape you want, but here's the major pieces. This was a drinkware piece, a journal, a pen, and a speaker that stayed on their desk. Hashtag as good as gold. If you took a picture of yourself with your box and posted it to social media, you got a $50 gift card. And people did it. And now all of a sudden, who you are and what your company stands for and your gifting strategies is now posted all over social media. So, and a thank you card. Your continued trust and support is as good as gold. This is a limited edition kit. Thank you for your partnership.
What do you call what you just said is interesting to me. And is it okay if we ask questions?
Yeah, please. I should have said, please do. What's your question?
So what you just said was, okay, here you get something nice, substantial. If you post with our hashtag, then you also get a $50 gift card. Like, it strikes me that that's a strategy. You get this, then do this, then you get this. I don't know what you call that, but
it's like it's leading to the goals you have. Like that happened to be an employee incentive for workers. I'm trying to think of the way to term it out, like line workers, but they were for warehouse workers. And it was a difficult role to fill. So the turnover rate was high because word on the street was that working there was hard, hours were long. So this client engaged with me and shared with me the strategy. Why are we giving out this big box? So big to great attention. So you're walking through the office with this big box. Someone's going to see that thing. What's that? What's this thing? And then it's big, it's branded on the bottom. It's like, it's got a big impact so that others see it. Hashtag post so that we improve our PR. So whatever the so that is, or whatever the goal is, we have to strategize so that the piece circles back for that. So the strategy for the piece I'm going to show you now, not a box, but I'll get to boxes. We were doing some work with Delta, and they wanted to give a gift at a trade show, but were concerned that people wouldn't take big, impactful gifts because nobody wants to put it in their suitcase because it's too big. So this is a piece, they were shocked, love this piece. It's a tote bag, duffel bag, that's great. But what happened was it actually unzipped, totally flat, and became a garment bag. And now it folds up totally flat. And they're like, so it was a duffel converts to a garment bag. So I would have had no desire to show them that if they weren't forthcoming with the why and the story. Majesco was seeing big turnover after 1 year. This is an insurance company I'm working with. And so we decided to start doing these anniversary welcome kits. Let me show you their cool welcome kit. And man, the hashtag on this, people were going crazy posting this. So it came in a really fun branded box that we did. Full color front, full color inside. PS, if ever you want to write a message here, dear Jen, we can do that too. Like literally change the names in the inside of the box. And they got a candle, they got socks, they got a travel mug, and a Waterman pen. Welcome to the team. And they got an apparel piece. And they put sizes on the application after this program, and it was a North Face. And this was just a piece that everyone was just wearing. Nice enough to wear to the office, nice enough to wear all the time. So that was the welcome kit. And then what happened was, and this is something, sometimes if you do something really cool and you set the lead, the CEO of Majesco danced with the socks on social media and did a dumb dance and just took a video of just his knees down. And he was like dancing all around, and everybody, he was like, post a picture. And I had nothing to do with this. I can't take credit. That was him, of yourself dancing in the Majesco socks and whatever, I don't even remember. And something, and there went viral, everybody dancing in those Majesco socks. And of course, that was huge for us to get all that publicity. Why do I tell that story? Like, promotional products done right with intention and thought and quality, combined with just a little push, can sometimes spark off. Like this was a piece we did, happy 1 year anniversary. Again, QR code. It was a message from the president. This one was the same message. It wasn't custom like the award or the other things I showed you. This was just the message. And inside, we love experiences. If you can give with your giveaways, if you could give an experience, like in that slide when I asked you, do you remember something you've gotten? And it was like crickets. That's normal, by the way. I can't open it. Stuck. It's supposed to be. That's what we don't want, but that's what we hear. So this says happy 1 year anniversary. And the video was, so this is a chocolate champagne glass. Comes with this hammer, this metal hammer, and you bash the chocolate. And inside is mini marshmallows. Celebrate. And we did a giant size of this, and the CEO was crashing it. And he's like, let's crash them together. Let's smash this together. Let's get together. Let's do this thing. You're with us a year. Stay with us. We love you. If you need me, whatever he said. I don't say I love you, but, and he was bashing one too. And so boom, the CEO who never met you is connecting with you. And he at first he didn't want to do it. He's like, I don't want to do that. It was like a 3-foot one. And we're like, just do it. And he did. And then all these videos of him crashing into them. and his staff crashing into them was kind of like this cool togetherness. Is this all making sense? Do you love promotional products? I'm just kidding. Okay. Experience boxes. Well, I'll tell you this too. Like, let's say you have your favorite stuff. Like, you want to do a branded spatula with a branded apron, right, Jen? Like, you want to do gifts. Like, here's a kit to cook up our salmon, and you do a spatula, you do an apron, you do a branded whatever has seasonings, right? So we could put branding on the seasonings that you think would go, a recipe kit. You can really think up anything. And I promise you, like inflatable alligators, we really can do it. This is a pasta night box. Enjoy pasta night with your family. And you open it up, and inside are all these clever things, a message, recipes, ingredients, and you got Rayo sauce, penne pasta, coffee, olive oil, cheese, the whole thing. And even a leave behind to remember the experience. And what we're doing here is we're adding pot holders branded with the name of the family. So it would say the Torres family. So now you had your pasta night. This one didn't ask for a hashtag posting for any funny gifts. You don't always have to ask people to do something else. And this was some similar ones. A sugar cookie one. So you bake cookies with your family. And then inside is all the pieces. And think about that message that sends. If you want to send that message, we care about your family. We care about your timing we care about you, your experience. If that's the message, it's not for everybody. Little baby Nutella. And pizza night would be fun if you did like a Zoom call with everybody, and everybody, like, I don't know, makes their pizzas together. Came with all the stuff to make pizzas, down to the tin to bake it in. Make your own dough. You literally just have to add water. So, kitting, promotional items, thought. I love showing product because I love to show things people haven't thought of, but there's some simple ones too. We were working with Diet Coke, and they were launching a single serving can, and they needed a custom straw to fit in the can because the size of the can was smaller. And we did the straw shaped like a heart. And then without them asking, we did a printed piece talking about it. I don't know how soda and the heart can go together, but I can't stop them from trying to change. We won't go there. Anyway, so they're talking about the heart and health and all the things. And so we were just giving out the straw. Let me back up. And I said, client, rather than just giving out the straw, why don't we try and tell a story of what you're trying to do? So that's part of promotional products too. Like, if you have an opportunity to put something in their hand, don't miss the opportunity to say a little more. They're holding the mug. They have the tote bag. Stick something in there or send them to your website. Collect a card, anything like that you can do. Like, work to find the result. If it's if this is something we did for a rehab company, for those that can't twist open a bottle, this helps you, goes around the water bottle. So you could untwist it with help. And here, some information. You could even make it plastic and hard so they could stick it on their fridge or keep it. This was a pharma company that wanted to get the press to talk about their new drug that they were launching. And all it was a simple straw branded in a box. And it said, imagine what it feels like to just breathe through a straw. Even hearing that, like, I take a deeper breath. So we just a straw to get them to answer the call. See what I mean? Like, these, like, make them feel something.
Was that some kind of drug to help people breathe better? Is that what that was?
Asthma.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Asthma. Yeah, go ahead.
Melissa, not to take you off track, but
Take me off track. I'll get it back on easily.
So what I'm thinking might be helpful is it would be interesting to watch you work with somebody here.
Yeah.
Coach somebody here, give them some ideas, or play with how could they use promotional products in their world.
Yeah, listen, I love to show product, but nothing's better than to making it personal to someone. Like, And I've had the experience, like I said, with you and a bit with Buddy, a bit with Rhonda and Kane. Jen, you're my, I gotta work with you,
I'm your next victim.
please. Yeah, does anybody,
Well, that's great. Go, like that would be great. Like I'd love to hear like what you could think of with Jen, what you could create.
I actually need a welcome kit and I need an anniversary kit.
for anniversary gifts for,
Yeah, so those are the things that I'm thinking about.
yeah, so let's start with the welcome kit. And like, so my questions that I would ask you is, how are you welcoming your staff now? Like, are they getting anything at this time?
Well, they are branded, what do you call this stuff? The sweatshirt, the hat, the things like that. Just the standard logo gear, wearable gear.
I love that. And do they wear that stuff in the office?
Yes.
Awesome. And do you like it when they're wearing the gear, like is that what your goal is? When you give someone a hat and a sweatshirt, is the goal to give them a gift or to get them to wear it in the office?
To give them a gift. I mean,
Yeah.
I think there are things that they'll wear outside too.
So
I
that's
don't
what
necessarily need, I mean, it doesn't matter to me, I guess. It should. Now that you mention it. But
well, that's why I'm asking. Like I said, so like when you're giving someone a welcome gift, it's to make them feel like they belong to a team now and they
Yes.
belong to a community. And so when you give an apparel item, you might want to just add to that says, feel free to wear this or wear this on Fridays. I'm just thinking out loud. Or like, it's great if you can always give somebody more than one in the welcome kit, because then they start to wear it in the office. You want them to wear it in the office. It's fun in our office. Sometimes we'll wear they're given a few pieces for a welcome kit, like a button down, like I'm wearing now, the logo on the sleeve, a few pieces, like a casual, a formal, a polo, whatever it might be. It's like a apparel kit. And with a note or something that says, feel free to wear these to the office. We'd love to see them, something like that. These are for you. The hat is great. When you're welcoming someone, what's the emotion behind it? You're part of a team. So you want to put that in there and make them feel like they made the right choice, right? Like they want to know that. So the gift evoke an emotion. And you have to think like togetherness, other items that might bring that together. And I'm just shooting on the fly without talking. And sometimes this can take a while, but like, is it a photo frame? Is it a salad bowl? Because you want them to think of you when they think of their sitting down and something that brings them back to the emotion that, or even wouldn't it be fun if you did give them branded utensils for when they're cooking? Do they, or something, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and that would be another conversation that you and I would have. Like, for me, it's my welcome kits. I think about that. It's like I spend my money on the apparel first so that they feel like they know what to wear to work when you're first starting. So then everybody can bring those in. Because not everybody's like, is it okay to wear a hoodie? Is it okay to wear the button down? And then that they look alike. And there's something to be said to that. Like when you're all wearing the same gear, you feel like, why do you think restaurants do that, or hotels? So everybody's looking the same. Your anniversary gift, are you doing that now?
no. Well, on our tree business we are, but on the salmon, no.
What would be the largest anniversary you'd have? 3 years, 4 years? And would you do it annually?
I would do it annually, and I like something like 2, 5, 10. Like our tree, we've gotten to 10 with the tree business, but
The reason I'm asking is you want the 2 people and the 5 people to see the 10 person's gift.
right.
So we develop all of those benchmarks together. You launch it out, you let everybody see we're launching an anniversary program. We really thank you for your longevity. And you kind of get the people at the 2-year to get excited that at the 5-year, you're going to get, a Yeti cooler, or you're going to get a Yeti cooler and a weekend something. Make sense? And that brings people to, you just start to psychologically get them thinking that you're thinking about their longevity, that you're thinking and wanting them there. And so you want to publicize when that 10-year one goes out, publicize when that 3-year one goes out.
Yeah, and we have a virtually mostly younger team now at Wild for Salmon. So I think it's a good time to get that rolling, because a lot of them will be hitting the 2-year mark probably in this upcoming year. So
So let's say that you and I were gonna, let's say we're gonna work together. I would start asking you these kinds of questions just to kind of Wayne kind of cross the board into everyone. So you think about, and I drive those questions, you give me those answers. What is it that you want them to feel? What is it that you want them to XYZ? And then you do start thinking about budget, right? We all have like a range. You should have some range because the sky's the limit. There's so many options. So you say on the anniversary gift for 1 year, and in my opinion, you spend a lot on the 1 year. You don't cheap out on it. You could, right? Like that's the one that psychologically sets the tone. So for me,
what would you recommend? Sorry to interrupt. Would you recommend 1, 2, 5, 1, 2?
Right. So where's the turnover? 1,
Right.
2, and so I think if I'm remembering from my studies, the turnover is 1, 3, 5. Year 1, they're like, am I doing good? Am I in the right place? So the 1 also just is a nice time to pause and reflect and thank. And then 2, you coast. 3, they start looking like, did I get enough promotions? Am I in the right? So 3 again, and then that happens again at 5, and then 10. So 1, 3, 5, 10. And then forget it for 20, you go crazy and anything like that. The only person I'm doing that with right now is a transportation company that I work with, and they give watches, which is funny to me because not a lot of people wear watches, but yeah, the 1, and anytime you can put a name on it is my big recommendation. So that's great.
Their name or our name?
Their name. So that's great that you're giving apparel, and you should, but whenever you can allow the name to go on the sleeve or the left chest, if they're comfortable. Sometimes you got to kind of look at your audience and see if some people don't want to walk around with their names on their clothes. But yeah, budgets, I'd say $50 minimum. If you can, because you want it to be impactful. And like Wayne thankfully gave that example. He remembered, was it North Face, Wayne? Yeah, North Face is that North Face, this North Face that we're doing for them. And they like, so here's what happened with this story. This was so popular, this North Face, that the staff, we now have a web store that they can buy them. And they pay. And PS, the client's making money off their staff buying this piece, which she never thought she'd see the day. She's like, wait. So she's giving 1 and they're buying more. So that's because it's a quality piece. There's nothing wrong with giving out a no-name brand or a lower level name brand. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to ask a 20-year veteran, where you see the memory and where you see the most impact is if you do less and spend more. That would be my strategy. A lot of times people call me for trade show giveaways. I'll guide them. I'll say, if you're going to spend $1,000 on a trade show, here's what you do. Buy $800 worth to trade show traffic and buy $200 worth of something impactful. For when that person that passes your booth connects with you, you have something meaningful and memorable to hand them. Still spend the $1,000 budget. Just divvy it up. Like we do with our holiday shopping. Certain family members get the JCPenney sweater and others, you go and get something great, but your budget's still the same. So trade show, that would be my advice, is to split that up. But Jen, I would say if turnover is a challenge for you, if it isn't, in today's days, I don't know. That's all we hear. People don't stay, they jump around.
That was really helpful. One thing interesting about that, picturing Steve and Jen's store, is it would be easy to have somebody start as new and then go grab a hoodie and kind of like in the extreme, you grab a hoodie and you throw it at them. Like, here you go. And maybe you don't do that, but you could. And I would probably do that. But what I heard you say, Melissa, about being very intentional and like maybe giving them more than one and maybe giving them different items. If you were to give it to them in an actual package or a box, it's just like, wow, that is so much different than just like chucking a hoodie and a t-shirt at them.
Yeah.
Let's hope. Does anybody else have questions? Because we're like 12 minutes yet. Buddy had a question in the beginning about.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kidding.
Oh, buddy, kidding. And yeah, so many times.
Buddy.
Hey, my question initially was like, create, and I think she answered this through her presentation, was pick out some specific items that you want, like all my new members, all my new patients to get, that we can just send her. I just email the name of like a spreadsheet of all the new people that week, and she gets it out to them within a week or two. Or how something like that work? What's the mechanics behind it?
Sure. So to answer your question, yes, it's done, and it's done frequently. It was done before the pandemic and even more so post-pandemic, but it was something that was done before. So the way it works is we strategize as to what that package is. We go over the products, if it's your water bottle, if it's a health journal, if it's a erasable pen or a bookmark for reading with a quote on it, it's a before and after picture frames, I don't know. We kit it, we box it, we sample it, you approve it, make sure that you're loving all of it. We decide whether we do a branded box or a standard blank box. Note cards are always really, really, really well received. You tell us what, even some clients, if they want to, you don't have to go through all the customization if you don't want to. Tell us what to write. So like, dear Susie, it was a delight talking to you. I really, and we handwrite that in for you because you don't have time for that. And we send it out and we track it. We share a Google Drive if you want. We don't even have to go back and forth too much. You just see the tracking number appear. And it's really successful. And there could be different kits for different people. So, you know, a thank you gift is this, a warm lead is this. And we set that up. We do order a minimum amount. So it could be as few as 12. It could be as many, depending on what your mail needs are. Depending on how much space it takes, we don't charge storage. If it starts to get into multiple boxes, then there is a storage fee. But we would talk about that as the program progressed. But yeah, like we're holding these kits here and says, you above all, JetBlue, and a manager wants to thank a staff member. So fly to see you, or JetBlue is a cool airline. Love it first flight. And then there's a notepad in there. And this thank you note goes on top. And even sometimes we wrap it. We can gift wrap it too, if you want it to feel even a little bit more special. But kitting and boxes, fulfillment. There's even web store capabilities we offer. No inventory style. So let's say you want to have 20 apparel items for your staff. You want, you know, jackets, t-shirts, hats, all of these things, but you don't want to make them up because you don't want leftovers. You know, some guy might be a tall, you know, somebody might be an extra small. So we have an on-demand model we can talk about too, should anybody want that. So you want your staff or your team or your sales teams to go online, be able to order, you know, a 2XL or an extra small, and it's made on order. No inventory kept, produced and shipped out. That is becoming more and more popular. So people aren't wanting to hold on to inventory and get frustrated with needing a 4XL and having to order them and having too many mediums or not knowing how many. So people don't want surplus anymore. So making things on demand is really popular. And it doesn't just mean apparel. We can do those on demand with all kinds of items, from drinkware to tools. And the web stores are beautiful. Like I said, that's what we're doing for Howell right now.
Question. Well, Buddy, does that answer your question? And I'm just curious, Rhonda, Kane, Jamie, like any insights and anything that has your brain kind of moving about any of this. So Buddy, are you good, or do you have more?
Nope, that answered it.
Jamie.
Melissa, I love the idea of adding something personal, whether, you know, and with the promotional products that we use, it's usually like a calendar or like it's usually nothing major, but to add something personal to tell a little story about what the funeral home is about seems like it would be so important, as opposed to just like, okay, here's this thing.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome, but you're right to give a calendar. Do you know they are like a multi-million-dollar industry? People love them and love them and love them. We did a calendar, and all we added inside the calendar were some custom stickers. that you can use on the calendar throughout the year, like dinner with a friend, celebrate a loved one. Like, so you could keep doing your calendars, but let's just put a set of custom stickers in there that talk about, especially with you, like celebrate life while you're here to celebrate life, you know, pause and reflect, go on a trip, those stickers for you. Yeah, so people know that you care about life and the living, right?
Yeah. Interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. They're so popular when people run out of stickers. They're like, I ran out of go to dinner stickers. I'm like, well, good, it's working.
We
That's
we
a
do
really
these
good
calendars,
idea.
and I was like, who is even using these calendars?
They're loving them. If you don't think they are, they're great. But we could
Well, there's a lot of crappy ones. I don't know about the rest of you. You talk about like crappy calendars. Like I remember people would hand me calendars all the time. I'd be like, this calendar's shit. I don't like the pictures. Like there's nothing that personal about this to me. Like, so there are great calendars, but there's really bad ones that make you feel like what a waste of paper. That what you were describing like there is really cool. An intentional calendar.
intentional, especially for you. What a great, I mean, if you think about it, Jamie, that's a great item for you to give out. You're thinking about your life and the days and the value, but throw in something with some quotes, throw in the first sheet of the calendar is a letter from you. I care about you, or whatever you say. And those stickers or whatever else we come up with.
Custom countdown clock to the average age of that person.
Kane and I see Kane laughing. We all have things in mind. We all have the wrong things. I know it. What is it, Kane? What's your idea? There's buddies. What's yours?
Well, I'm just thinking about what Jamie does for a living, giving people like calendars with expiration dates.
Time's running out.
Or you should also give clocks.
Right? Hourglasses.
Exactly. It's not wrong.
You're muted, Rhonda, but Kane or Rhonda, anything. Rhonda was excited there and we didn't hear it.
You know what I like is the idea of creating a store that the people who work here can go and pick out stuff like this, right? Like this
Yes.
quarter zip that I'm wearing. Because when the way we do it now is like we buy a bunch of shit and pass it out and hope we have enough of the size that we order, or Joe Ellen will go around the office and try to collect sizes for people and what they want, and that's maddening. So I don't do. Is why I gave it to her to do. I'm not gonna deal with that crap anymore. So I like the idea of finding some stuff, creating a store, letting people go in there and just order their stuff for our people here. I love that idea.
Yeah, and you can even incentivize. There's an opportunity to give them a code. So job well done. Here's a code. Go get yourself some gear on the site. You can even give managers a budget line. Here's a $3,000, but I don't know, whatever, 200. Go. And even you could use it for like sales calls. Here's the gift section. Start gifting anybody over X amount. See if you can, the sky's the limit there on when you don't have to hold inventory. So that's why that was born.
Yeah, that's cool. Very cool.
Rhonda, anything?
Oh, no, that's all right.
But you did yoga mats.
Yeah, I did yoga mats. Oh my gosh, they were great. And that was the last thing that was on my mind. And that's what I ended up going with. I mean, we had a very, very small budget and Melissa made it work and she had these great ideas. And, I'm thinking a pen with the retreat name on it or something, like an inexpensive water bottle. And then she was like, well, what about doing this yoga mat, for like the first 20 people, I forget what it was that, that sign up for the retreat. And I was like, yeah, I like that. Cause it was it wasn't just a yoga retreat, but I mean, we were doing yoga, but it fit perfectly. And it was a huge hit. People were like, I was getting messages because it was limited. And, so I was getting messages all the time, like, oh my gosh, like how soon is, registration going to open? I want to make sure I get one of the yoga mats. Yeah, it was super. That was hot. That was
really well said. Limited. Make whatever you do limited. Like, that's a good one too. Thank you, Rhonda.
Sure. Thank you.
And the other thing I'm thinking, like with all of you, Jen has people that are buying club leaders or star customers who hit their 500 pounds of salmon or something. Like there's triggers that could happen where then people unexpectedly get a gift. in that business would be really good. Jamie's, there are like centers of influence who refer you to people that there could be a gift. That it's almost, you know, on there's no end to who we might think about that would want to get this experience and open it up. So, well, we're at 12:30.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you to everybody who's here, because it enriches, you know, makes the conversation better. So I just want to take a moment and say thanks for coming. I know, you know, you're here to get something, but you're also giving a lot when you spend your time here, and then, you know, chime in with a question or a case study. So thanks. Yeah, thanks for showing up.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thanks, Melissa. Seeing
Thanks,
you all.
Melissa.
Go get him, gang.
Take care.
Yeah.